This is privet. The reason we're cutting it down is it's an invasive species. It likes to take over the understory, outcompete any of the native vegetation. So basically, if we were to leave it alone, as our oaks die, there's going to be nothing underneath other than privet. So there's some of the bigger stuff like this that you probably can't pull. These just clip off. Some of the smaller ones you could just pull if you could get the roots. You're really doing a little bit extra. And then there's some big thickets around that have partially been cut. And those are basically you need a chainsaw for, so we won't be taking care of today. Following up, we're going to be running a fire through this area, and that will help kill some of the small stuff we leave, and also the stuff that we clip already is going to be the fuel for the fire. So that's going to help kill off some of the invasives. It's also going to help improve the trees around that we have, just because it's going to be a natural thinning, which allows the trees basically to have less limited of resources if they were killing off some of the weaker ones. The fire will kill the above ground portion. There'll still be the roots, which will still send some, but it's a lot easier to manage privet that's this tall than privet that's this tall. So that's going to allow us to come back and just take care of the little stuff later, basically.
So what's the trick to ID this stuff so I know I'm cutting down the right thing?
Well, in winter, it's going to be one of the few things that's actually still green. It's an evergreen. It's got these little branches or little leaves that are opposite of each other. So where the leaf comes out, you'll see that there's 2 leaves at each node, as opposed to some of our other trees that will have maybe a leaf on one side go up an inch and a leaf on the other. But even at this time of year when everything's still a little green, you'll see that privet is still a dark green because of it being evergreen. It's not really going through that dormancy like our other trees are.
So now's a really good time.
Now is a great time. Also, if you were to do a spray, some people want to do a foliar spray. Now is a good time because with the hardwoods losing their leaves, the foliar spray is only going to hit the evergreen that's still here.
And privet is bad just in general because...
It's bad because it takes over. It really doesn't offer anything to the ecosystem. It eventually chokes out the understory, making a monoculture, which monocultures are never good for any of the ecosystems that we have. It's got a little bit of a benefit to pollinators because it produces flowers, but because it chokes out everything in the understory, all the flowers that might come up on the ground, the forbs, it's actually reducing the pollinator habitat because you only have one thing, it's only at one level. And it offers a little bit of thickening for birds, but there's other species that could do the same that are less harmful.